And technology says we are live. It's always a miracle to me when I push that button and then it just happens. Hello, happy Monday. Wow, November is just weird. Let's just say that. Let's just get it out of the way. I think everybody is kind of hitting the wall with this year and ready for it to be over. Myself included. So, yeah, just a kind of weird times that we are in. But we are here to talk about how to make your online business better, sell more, have more fun doing it. So let's get into it. I had some questions come in today. Oh, I also had something really weird happen this morning is Priscilla came back out. She's not supposed to come back out. She has been down in her burrow for a week. And for those that don't know, Priscilla is my little baby tortoise. And I have 3 tortoises, but Priscilla's the baby. And this time of year, once the weather turns cold, they go into what's called brumation, which is a reptile version of hibernation. And then we don't see them until the spring. But she decided today she wanted to come venture out. So she was so cold. I could tell she's like, you think they move slow anyway. It's like she's just creeping along. So I took her, I gave her what we call a soak, meaning I gave her about like this much water, like nice lukewarm bath watery kind of water, and I set her in it so that she could warm up. But then, of course, after I got her wet, I started thinking, oh no, I can't just let her go back in her cave. She might freeze to death because she's wet now. So then I had to give her a little sun bath until she dried. And I've kind of been now keeping an eye on her and the ring cam to make sure she goes back into her little hideaway. She's crazy. And I'm going away. I'm going back to San Diego. I leave Thursday morning this time, and I won't be back till Monday night. So I'm hoping she gets what she needs today, and she just goes back in and stops being a problem. So don't need any problem tortoises. Yeah, we're having like a really nice sunny day, but it's still cold. It's not. I got the sweaters out now. Yay, sweaters and boots. I do love that it is boot season. So, hey, if you sell clothing and shoes, start getting those boots and sweaters listed. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, Christine, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just leave it at that. Okay? Yeah. Hello, everyone. So good to see all the faces over in the chat. For those who are watching on the replay, we have a live chat every Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. I don't even know. Are we in Pacific Standard or Pacific Daylight? Is it daylight or is it standard? I don't even know. So I just say Pacific time because I think then it just keeps it uncomplicated. But anyway, at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, we do this every Monday, and you ask the questions, and hopefully I can give you some answers, and we can help make your business better. Yes. So there is a live chat going on that I'm like watching and looking for questions as best as I can. A lot of newbies starting up in the Niche to Profit group over on Facebook. I'm seeing a lot of you are like taking the plunge and finally getting those eBay stores open. And yeah, but I will tell you that it's slow. It's slow right now. There's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot of financial things going on for people. Of course, the first of the month is always when the rent is due. So I'll always see a decrease in sales on the first week of the month. So keep that in mind. And oh, daylight is before November 1st. Okay, so we're in standard time now then. Got it. I thought that's how it was, but I wasn't sure because I know that the daylight savings time was invented to help with the harvest. So does that mean the harvest now is over? I guess maybe, yeah, going into November it would be, I think. I don't know. What do I know? We don't harvest here. We just set alarm clocks. Is there an eBay book that I recommend? So this is Susie asked this question over here. Is there an eBay book I recommend? It's going to depend on what it is you're trying to find out. Like, what is it? Here's the thing with most books that teach you to sell on eBay. By the time those books are written and published, there's information that's outdated. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. Now, I will say that Marcia, what's Marcia's last name? Oh my gosh, I am just drawing a brain fart here. Anyway, she wrote the eBay for Dummies. Come on, somebody help me with what Marcia's last name is. Holy spumoni. Like, she's a friend of mine. This is embarrassing. I cannot even remember her last name. Marcia Collier, thank you. Like, I don't call her by her last name. I call her Marcia. Yeah, so her eBay for Dummies books get updated on a regular basis, and she has really good information. But honestly, the best way to learn eBay is to be involved in a group with eBay sellers. And that's why I have the Niche to Profit Facebook group. There's a link down in the description if you want to come join us, because now you can ask real-time questions. You can get real-time answers of what's going on, you know, because, I mean, you can Google search a lot of the information that you will find in books. I mean, and that's just a fact. That's not a put down of anybody who's written books. I've written books. And so, yeah, if you're really looking, like, I know sometimes we want to read books that are more, give us confidence. So, and I would say if you're looking, thank you, Tri-State Picker Mom. She put the link right over there in the chat too. What I would say to you is get motivational books. There's some really fantastic business motivation books out there that I would recommend is if you're needing some confidence. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are going to start asking some questions. So let me get to this one, but then I've got some questions that came in. I'm also going to do a little mini haul, mini haul, because I didn't get that much stuff at a couple of the Goodwill trips I went to. So I thought I will just do the haul here. So when you move items into your special sale pricing store category, then automatically marked down, or the reduced prices only applied to that category when you create. Yeah. So so for those that don't know, my method of discounting items is that within my eBay store, I create sale categories. Some people like to just make one category, you know, like, and for the longest time, I just had one that said special values, clearance, whatever you want to call it. And then I would move items into there after they had been listed a certain amount of time. You do that through bulk editor. And then I every month I have to renew the sale. You probably would notice that I haven't renewed the sale yet. So you go to those categories and you don't see a discount on those items. And that is because I have to manually redo the sale, because when you do the markdown sale, it goes by a category. It doesn't go by just telling it, hey, these items I want always to be this much. So yeah, it is a manual process. And I was playing a little bit too with doing my offers to watchers by manually giving them the 50% off or the 25% off, which is my two categories. And I'm not seeing huge results in that. So I'm going to go get my sales started again. Yeah, we all need motivation when things are slow. You know, motivation is a word for motivation, I think, in this instance is hope. And I heard a speaker once talked about, you know, people who go into deep depressions, people who commit suicide, like that is an absolute loss of hope. So hope is very important. And motivation to me is hope. It's hope that things are going to get better. It's hope that if I do A, B will happen. It's hope that if I just hold on, I'm going to be okay. So motivation, hope are very, very, very important, not just in business, but in life. We need to. Oh, thank you, Shar. I do need to update my store banner. Yes. Yeah. So, and we need to build each other up. I am seeing so much ugliness out on social media. I see it in the comments on a daily basis here on my channel. The way that people express their unhappiness in their life with attacking others, attacking me, attacking whoever. And, if you don't have kind of that strong sense of brushing that stuff off, that can affect you really bad. And it's just like we're seeing so much unhappiness and unrest and just this kind of toxic, like, what happened to if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all philosophy. I grew up with that. I'm like, there needs to be a little bit more tongue biting out there, I think. But yeah, we need to build one another up. Build one another up. Always, always, always. We can have differences of opinion, but we're all in this together, like it or not. So here we are. If you need advice, come on over to the Niche to Profit group. I know I get a lot of I get questions and comments that really need in-depth answers and more information, and I can't carry on those dialogues here in the comments. They kind of get lost. So come over to the Facebook group and ask your question. Yep. Yep. Yeah, the world is already hard enough. We need to be kind. In the group, that's my first rule. It's my first group rule. It's be kind. Be kind. Everybody started out as a newbie at one point. So newbies are more than welcome in the group. I get people saying, yeah, nobody wants to answer the newbie questions. Like, I love the newbies. My passion is for you newbies. Oh, you guys, I used a new eyeliner today and it's making my eyes water. So I'm not crying. Like, ah. But yeah, I want to build you guys up in the seasoned sellers. You get into lulls and you need that boost too. It's like we all need that boost. All right. Yeah. Nurse JLo, that is probably not a question we're going to be able to answer here because we need to see a picture. We need to see a picture. But the main question of today is, do I list it at auction or do I list it at fixed price? So let's talk about that, and that might actually answer your question. So back in the day, and I'm trying to think what year it was that eBay even came around to having fixed price. eBay rolled around to, they were only auctions. You could only sell something in an eBay auction when eBay began and for the first decade. It was as Amazon gained popularity and Amazon was the place where you could just go buy something that eBay said, oh, well, we need to do that too. It used to be that, we would get watchers on an item on an auction. So we knew there was interest and all that. Actually, in the early days, there was no watcher feature either. It was simply if you wanted to watch an item, you had to place a bid. Yeah, I forgot about that for a second. So then they did watchers, which really changed that whole thing. And we saw sales kind of shift because people were watching and then not buying, whereas before they had to place a bid to watch and follow it. So then, and then eBay decided, hey, we need to make it so people can just buy stuff. And then along came fixed price. And up until maybe it isn't even last year, maybe it's this. When did they do it? Was it the spring? Was it the spring seller update or was it last fall seller update where they made good till canceled the way it is for everybody? Can't remember. It's recent though, because before you could just have a fixed price listing that ended in 30 days or ended in 10 days or whatever. And now they've made it good till canceled. And what good till canceled means is that every 30 days, your item rolls over into a new listing cycle. So it still counts. It counts every month as a fresh listing out of your count. Okay, so the shift we have seen in the e-commerce world is people want it now. For most things, I'm going to say like 95% of what is out there to be purchased, people do not want to wait. Okay, it must have been in the fall seller update. Yeah. People do not want to wait. When they see something, they want it, or they want to make an offer, but they don't want to wait, or they're going to move on and go shopping elsewhere. So that's your first indicator of whether or not to list something in auction format. Is it something that if I go search, I can find others available? Okay. So if you can go find others available of that item, auction's probably not going to be your best avenue to take. Okay, so there's test one. So let's say you can't find another one anywhere. Now you have to look at the item and say, but do you think there's at least, 3, 4, 5 plus people who are interested enough in purchasing this that they're going to place a bid and or wait it out? So that's your second. So really auctions are for those items that are somewhat on the rare side. It's think of your auction format. If you sell antiques and collectibles, it's what I'm addressing right now. So think of that item and go, is this like the type of auction item that the kind of the what do you call it? We have two levels of auctions in this country. We have the Christie's, the Sotheby's, the high-end auction houses that service the collector. And then we have the lower end auction house that services the reseller. They're like the wholesale market. So you don't want your item to be in the wholesale market. You want your item to be in the high end market if you're going to run it on auction. Okay, so there's your second test. Is this an item that a high end collector would be interested in? Okay. Now, the other thing that I use as an indicator to run something on auction, I was looking to see if I had something over here to kind of, and I don't. Okay, I like visuals, okay? I like visuals. I'll talk about this glass in a minute. So I have this glass. This glass has a set market value for the most part. When I say set market value, that means the sold prices are within a certain range, like within a $10 of one another range, okay? So I know this, let's say, is a $20 piece of glass. But let's say, oh, it's got this little chip on the bottom, and I'm not sure how much that affects the market value. So I would take that item and I would put it up on auction probably at about half of what the market value is that I'm seeing out everywhere else, so that I can let the market determine how much that damage affects the item. So that's another way that I utilize auctions. Now, if you sell clothing, commodity items, most modern things, home and garden type things, those are items you have to be very careful about using the auction format, because those are the items that somebody's probably searching for. They need it within a few days and they're not going to be willing to wait. You do get lucky sometimes and you get a couple of bidders that come in on the last day, maybe even last couple days, and will be willing to bid, but you're probably not going to get as much for it as if you would just put it in a fixed price format. So be really careful about what it is you're selling, and does that type of item fit into the auction format? Now, another way that auctions can be used is as loss leaders. And what I mean by that is let's say I have, 20 of these in different colors and different sets, or maybe I have this maker in, all that stuff. And I go, you know what? I only paid a couple bucks for this. I'm going to put this at auction at like 99 cents or $1.99, because what it's going to do is pull people into my store. And then hopefully those people go and they search other items because they came in and this was so ridiculously reasonable. They want to go search what else I have for sale. So that's what a loss leader's purpose is, that you expect to not get market value for that item, or you might even just get slightly below market value. You'll see this done on a lot of electronics, like, and even like iPhones, smartphones, some Nike shoes is when I see it, done a lot. So there's different products where you can do a loss leader and know that the selling price is still going to end at a certain range. But you got to know your stuff. You got to know what it is that you're selling and all of that. So I hope that any other questions around, should I list at fixed price? Should I list it at auction? Because I think what a lot of sellers get caught up in is, how many free listings do I get per month? Let me see. I'm going to see. Stand by. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like in your. Hang on. Yes. Let me blow up this screen before I show it to you. Okay. I love the whole blow up the screen thing. Okay. Want everybody will be able to see the numbers. Okay. Oh, I guess I have to share my screen for you guys to see it, don't I? Let's see how that shows up. There we go. Okay. So in your Seller Hub, you're going to have a section called Promotional Offers. And under Promotional Offers, it's going to tell you, like with your store subscription, how many fixed price listings you get. It's going to tell you the start date. It's going to tell you the end date. And then it's going to tell you how many you have used and how many you have left. And then it's going to do that for your auction format as well. If I scroll down here a little bit, you can see same thing. I've used 12, 400. So what a lot of sellers get caught up in is these numbers right here. Like, what do I have left? Because obviously they're a lot less when you have a lower level store. So you have to be careful that you are not running your business based on, oops, I don't want to incur any listing fees, so I'm going to stay under this number. It's a huge mistake that I see sellers make, because you are limiting your possibility for profits. If you are going to list an item and let's say it's going to cost, let's say you've gone over your allotment and it's going to cost you 25 cents to list, this is what I'm going to say. If it's not worth spending 25 cents to list that item, really think about if it's worth listing. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. When you're up in the premium store level, like I'm at, it's 10 cents for the listing, but it goes down to that 25 cents. Like 25 cents should not be a deal breaker if you are confident that you're putting up an item that is worth much more than that. So let that be a test of those items. Even when you're within your free listings, think about that. If it makes you feel uncomfortable listing something and paying 25 cents to list it, really step back and go, oh, do I really want to list this item? Is this item worth listing? Because if it's worth listing, it's worth spending the 25 cents on. Yep. All right, let me see what questions I missed. Okay, so I missed a little bit. So I have noticed that high-priced items that have multiple listings on eBay have done well at auction, fetching close to buy it now prices. Have you experienced this? The high-priced items that have multiple listings. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, okay, so you're saying, yeah, so there was an item, and you know what? Do you have an example? You have like, give me a title that of something that you've seen. We'll go look in real time. But yeah, sometimes they can get close to buy it now prices. Close to. Probably not matching. And it's really going to depend on what the item is. I mean, that's a big determiner. What is the item? Because some items are, you know, if they started the auction super low, and like I was saying, things like the Nike shoes and the electronics and that almost historically, you can start those at 99 cents and not fear that they're going to sell at 99 cents. So it really is going to depend on the item. I say if you think something might be worth more, price it starting at your lowest acceptable price to be pleasantly surprised if it gets bid up. I do that too. Like, I have some auctions running right now that I don't know what the demand is for them. So I just went ahead and I did auctions based on what I think they should go for. And I'll see how much interest there is in them at that price range. And then when the auction ends, I can just put them at fixed price. Yep. Yes, good till cancel, roll over until you cancel them. That is correct. That is correct. Let's see. Do you let it roll over by itself or go ahead and cancel and sell? Oh, heavens no. Okay. And I see this advice given all the time. And I'm just going to tell you, here's my opinion. Okay. And which has worked for me for 22 years on eBay. Do your listing due diligence at the beginning as best you can. List your item, price your item. I like to price on the high side and offer opportunities for how to get it for less. But I never, never, never do the messing around with canceling listings so I can sell similar, to refresh the listings and do, like, I don't mess with any of that, because my experience has been you will make way more money if you use that time listing something else versus messing with something you already have listed. Okay. Now, the difference there is if you learn, let's say, and we've done store reviews here where I've given advice on how to fix titles and how to do some pricing and all of that stuff. That's okay. That's editing to improve the listing itself. But once it's improved, once you've made that change, let it ride. Just let it ride and spend your time listing. Yep. How am I doing with managed payments? Any complaints or praises? I really am okay with managed payments. You know what I really love about managed payments is I don't have $1,000 invoice to pay at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, because they're taking the final value fees right out of the item. So I do have still like my store subscription and some of the shipping fees. So if you use FedEx, UPS, and I think, I think there's one more shipping thing that comes out, international maybe. Anyway, those do go on your invoice. So my invoice is still $200 to $300. But hey, that is way, 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 way better. I like that it's not that big, huge amount that always made me gulp, right? Because I don't know if you're like me. I'm not a super good, I don't want to say I'm not a good money manager, because I am a good money manager, but I'm not a real organized money manager. Let me put it that way. And I tend to do my accounting work like a couple times a month, and I don't like to have to keep real close tabs in between. I like the money just to be there to pay my bills. And with managed payments, it's like it's there, you know, it's building up, and I like that. So no, I haven't run into any issues. I don't like that when somebody opens a case that they freeze that amount of money. That's just a kind of a irk me a little bit. And for me and the where I've built my business to, it's not as big of a pain point as some of you starting out. You know, they freeze that $50 that you were counting on to help pay the rent, and that's a hardship. You know, so in that aspect, I don't assume we're guilty until proven innocent kind of thing, which is what it feels like. But other than that, managed payments really has not been a problem. Yes, promoted listings also go on to the monthly invoice. That is correct, but I don't do very much promoted listings. Honestly, I do like the obligatory like 1%, but I don't think it's making any difference. I don't sell hardly anything with promoted listings, but in my categories, that's pretty much the norm. If you are in competitive categories, then you are going to want to take a look at promoted listings. So I'm not completely discounting promoted listings. I just think you need to test it and make sure that it's something you actually need to be spending money on before you do it. Yep. So everyone's getting rolled over at this point. If you haven't gotten an invite yet, you'll be getting one soon, I assure you. But they're saying by 2021, everybody will be rolled into managed payments. They're still working out some bugs, which bugs me. There's categories of things that they cannot get processed through managed payments. And so they've got to figure that out. And also, I did find out that new sellers are not being automatically put into managed payments. So if you're a new seller and you're still in PayPal, you will have to be on managed payments. So just be ready for that. I don't know why they didn't just, I don't know. I've stopped trying to figure out why eBay does things. I really do. They're corporate. I'll just leave it at that. They're a corporation. Oh, that's not true. The second level store does not allow managed payments yet. It's not that it doesn't allow it. You just haven't been invited in, if that's the case. Yeah. Everybody's going to be in managed payments. You just got your first buy just now. Ka-ching! Yay! Way to go. Share with us what you sold. All right. Do you get charged each time you revise your listing? Not if you revise your listing. You would get charged, and by charge, either you get charged a listing fee or it comes out of your allotment of free listings. If you end and sell similar, or end and relist. A relist and a sell similar and a new listing all are counted as a listing. Yep. All right. So to reach eBay, oh, now I got to shrink this screen back down. Stand by. Let me get. Okay, so I'm not actually sure how you reach eBay these days. Let's figure it out. If you have a problem with eBay, I'm going to say help and contact. There it is. Okay, who else got changed to this black header? This black header up here is really messing with me. I do not like it. I don't like it. I have a lot of trouble reading in dark mode, and it's like they're forcing me to go dark mode. So, okay, so help and contact right up here. And here are all of the things here that if you need help with. So let's say it's invoice issue. It's none of those. Return shipping, report fees, credit. Oh, here we go. Fees, credits, invoices. They're going to make you press a few buttons before you get to them, I'm sure. I'm still looking. Hold on. Here we go. So now not everybody has eBay concierge service. I think you have to be a top rated seller. Joni, do you know, is it who gets the eBay concierge? I think it's top rated seller and above. So once you become a top rated seller, you'll have this option. So now I'm not exactly sure, because they would tell me to go there, I think. Selling fees. You got all of these pages here to try to get help with. Of course, they're just explaining stuff. Yeah, it's maybe somebody who doesn't have concierge can tell me how you find help for eBay. You know, sometimes Google is our friend, and I never Google search live. Um, you can also message them on the eBay for Business Facebook page or Facebook page that they have. Yeah, page, not group, page. And they're really good at getting back to you. So if you Google, here's what I Googled, and it comes up with, you know, they have like a phone number. I'm not sure this phone number is working. This was the phone number. But I know that the eBay help has been a little wonky. So yeah. Let's see. I'm backing up in the chat here. Let's see. Chat's going fast. Okay. How many days do I put an item in auction? I run it the 7 days, and I usually run them to end on a Sunday evening. Data-wise, it shows that most people are online Sundays between 7 and 9 p.m. So I do tend to end my auctions between 7 and 9 p.m. so that the most people online can have the opportunity to find it. Yeah, they're getting trickier about getting the. Honestly, just go over to the eBay for Business Facebook page, send them a message. They are going to want your registered name, your username, email address, and zip code. I will tell you that right now. Just include that when you message them, because they won't answer anything until you do that. Be proactive, give them that information, and ask your question. That's the fastest way I have found to get help. It used to be faster. It's much slower than it was, unfortunately, because the blue light is slowly blinding us all. Is that the reason for the dark mode? Because I have trouble seeing the dark mode, and I was told it has something to do with having an astigmatism. So my glasses have the blue light, whatever, blocking fancy schmancy stuff. So I'm not super worried about that. You are TRS Plus and you don't have it. I don't know what the criteria is then. Maybe is it a premium store thing? I don't know. That's a good question then. I don't think it's you had to have attended eBay Open, but it could be a store level thing. Oh, I'm not a top rated seller, but I have an option to receive a call. Janet, do you have a premium store? Oops, it just ran the last. Yeah, I agree with you. In the last year, eBay has changed their layout of pages so much it's hard to find anything on their site to help you. Yep, I'm a fan of Googling. I'm a fan of Googling. Yes, we were at top of page under help and contact, but mine sends me down to concierge, and I'm trying to find how people who don't have concierge get that help. That phone number is not good anymore. And honestly, I don't know why they can't have people doing the phone support from their home. So, you know, Cousin Rona is not a good excuse. Yeah, I have them call me too, the very, very few times that I've called. But I was trying to just figure out, you know, what do people who don't have that concierge button do? Yeah. Okay. YouTube recommended this to you and you're very confused how you got here? You must have watched one of my videos or one of my fellow thrifter videos. I don't know. Well, welcome. What do I do with my listings if I need to leave town for 2 days and I set up eBay to ship within 1 business day? Put your store on vacation. Just put it on vacation. I will be doing this in the next couple of days. Actually, they just changed it. They have an away feature now. So it's not the huge ordeal that it once was. So going to test the new system. But yep. And now it's like you don't have to have a store. It used to be it was a store feature to put your store on vacation. And now everybody should be able to put their store on vacation. Oh, well, that's good to know. All right. All right. Well, that means that they're getting it together. Fairly new. If I go all the way to the bottom, I can either chat or receive a call. I've done it many times. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Yay. Okay. So I got some confirmation. I want to clarify the seller protection issue. You guys know, I am always telling you in that condition description box, you need to fill out anything that's wrong with the item. I am going to continue to advise that. Okay, so what I'm about to say does not negate my advice on doing that. It's the smart thing to do. It's the right thing to do if your item has any condition issues at all. And also, even if it doesn't have condition issues, it's a great way to give confidence to the potential buyer that your item is in excellent condition. Okay. And as we found out last week, if you spell out enough of a condition in there, you can bypass the 2 lines where eBay sends you off to somebody else's listing. So we did find that out too. So it has its perks. Now, what I did find out is the protection that we used to have with what we put in that, item description box, we apparently no longer have. Seller protection, I'm sorry, I got to say it. If anybody's from eBay and they're listening to me, the seller protection sucks. Just the seller protection still protects buyers. It's still assuming that the seller is the guilty one and that the buyer is the honest one. And in 22 years of doing this, I can tell you that's usually not the case. Now, granted, I am certain there are sellers out there who are very bad sellers, but I would think their feedback, their other issues in their account, the amount of claims they get, all of that would alert eBay to that. There's already things in place for eBay to know who those bad sellers are. Okay. So yeah, I'm not real happy about eBay seller protection. So here is basically what I was told. I'm just going to share the screen with you over here. We can read it together. This is it. This is the policy. This is a bunch of blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm just going to say it. It's blah, blah, blah. This is corporate speak. This is, yeah, we're trying to make you feel like you're protected. Let's go to the policy. Okay. How am I protected from abusive buyers? Here's a biggie. If eBay finds, okay, that right there gives them a complete out on who they side with. All right. Now, that being said, I have had eBay side with me, but I have to fight for it every time. So that's my advice. Don't accept no for an answer. Fight for it. Okay. Because eBay also does not like, they don't like the battle. So just say the squeaky wheel and all of that. So if you believe 100% that you are in the right, that the seller did something, I mean, the buyer did a fraudulent return, that they put item not as described when it was absolutely described. I do believe I just got an Amazon order. And the dogs will be barking for a moment until I tell them to shut up. Thank you, children. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You scared him away. Yep, he's gone. You scared him. It's all good now. Okay, where was I? I think they're done. Okay. So we all know that buyers know that if they just select the item not as described, they're going to be able to return it on our dime. And I think that's the sticky point here, is that it costs us money to send it, which if you do calculated shipping, the buyer, paid that, you're good. You don't have to refund that. Free shipping, you're going to be refunding the entire amount. It's another reason I don't do free shipping anymore. And if they say item not as described, eBay will make you pay for the return shipping label as well, which stinks. Okay. So it's really about, if eBay finds the buyer's behavior is abusive, blah, 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 blah. We'll take action on the buyer. We'll remove negative and neutral feedback and defects, blah, 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 blah. I really don't even care about the feedback. And I'm not that worried about the defects because I get so few. I'm worried about the money. I'm all about my profit margins. So they're not even addressing the money issue here. Says we'll protect you by removing negative and neutral feedback and defects, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. This is how I feel about it. I'm going to be flat honest with you. People say I drink the eBay Kool-Aid, and you know what? I think eBay is an absolutely fantastic place to sell. It is my number one venue I sell on, but I think this policy sucks. Okay. I really, really hate it. Abusive buying activity, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you do the free returns thing, they will refund $6 of the return label, and then you can deduct 50%, up to 50% from the refund. I'm not doing free returns. I'm not. Actually, if they would take the big label of free returns off of the listing on the search, I might do it. But I'm not going to advertise that, hey, you can just try this out. That's my personal feeling. What I sell is not a good option for free returns. Now, I'm waiting for 2021, where Jordan Sweetnam has said he realizes one size does not fit all categories. And I'm waiting for some new policies to come into play that protect the antiques and collectibles sellers. Because this stinks. It stinks. This is Amazon. This is not the mom and pop eBay seller. Okay. And I'm really kind of pushing eBay. Not that they're going to listen to me. Not that they're going to do it. I think they should be the point of returns. I think they should put their money where their mouth is. They should have a free returns policy and allow buyers to ship the things back to a warehouse of their choosing, and they deal with the merchandise. Keep the seller whole, unless, and see, and this is another way they could keep track. They could then see, oh, is this particular seller getting a more than average amount of these kind of return claims, and is the merchandise coming back doesn't match the description and all that. They could really weed out the bad sellers, but I wouldn't be worried about that. I'm not going to get those returns. The items, if they get sent back, are going to match exactly what I listed. They can determine that, and now eBay can then see which buyers are abusing the system. Because if buyers feel like, ooh, I can just start returning stuff, you're going to see that in their history. You're going to be able to keep track of that. So it would be a really good way for eBay to stop this problem altogether. It would also give seller confidence. It would give buyer confidence. And then they get that merchandise to do with as they want. They could sell pallets of returns like other companies do. They could do it through a third party, because I know eBay doesn't sell anything themselves, but they could certainly contract a third party company to do this, just like they did Global Shipping Program. That's not an eBay company. That's Pitney Bowes. So You're gonna get me on a rant here with this, but that's how I feel it should be handled. That keeps all the mom and pop small sellers from possibly not being able to put food on the table that week because they had to do $100 return on something or their funds got frozen, which just ain't right. Okay, there, I said it. But all that being said, you guys, eBay's still the best game in town. For what I sell, it's the best game in town. So it really depends on what you sell. But I'm saying, like, and I sell on Etsy, I sell on Poshmark, I don't sell on Mercari anymore. I can't stand Mercari. But hey, there are certain types of goods that do better on Mercari than they do on eBay. And I sell on Cherish, you know. And I got to tell you, Cherish is the one, like, return policy wise, Cherish has it down. Like Cherish, they have to have a really good reason for returning an item, because remember, Cherish has curated all the items, so they've seen every item that gets listed. So it's very unusual to have a return on Cherish. All right, unless you send the wrong thing. I mean, it happens. We make mistakes. Okay, so this is what I don't recommend. Saying no returns does not protect you from no returns, just flat out, and it will hurt your sales. So I do advise that you have a return policy, at the very least, the minimum 14, is it, or did they switch it to 30 days now? I can never remember. Well, they keep changing things. Mine's 60 days. I have a 60-day return policy, and here is why. Because if somebody legitimately gets something and it arrives broken or completely different than what they thought it was going to be, they're going to let you know within a day or two. And so having a really long window for returns makes it more likely that those who don't really have a legitimate claim are going to put it off and put it off and forget about it, and you will never hear from them again. So there is a 14-day still. Yeah. Okay. Yep. 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 Amazon takes the returns very well. Not as good as they used to. I made a mistake recently with a kind of a high-priced item that was not as I expected it to be. So I initiated the return and I thought I had 30 days. So I put it up. And by the time I got around to like going to print, the info, I found out that it had expired and I was no longer eligible to return the item, and I got stuck with it. But it's like, oh, because I remember the days where you had like 6 months to return something on Amazon. Not anymore. They're buttoning it up. So yeah, you want a return policy because that's going to give you a boost in the search algorithm for people to find your stuff. Is it your place to chase down a package or the seller's? So you bought something, it didn't arrive. You get tracking information. So the best thing for you to do is check your tracking and find out at what point that item is stuck. It is possible also, there are sellers out there who will print the label and not mail the merchandise. And at that point, then I'd lay it on the seller and say, hey, why does this show that this was never put in the mail? Make them kind of back that up. But your best bet is, contact the seller, put in an item not received case. I'm all for that, because sellers should be using insurance on their higher end goods or just covering it if it doesn't arrive. Usually those things tend to show up at some point. But yeah, it's a seller's duty to get the item to the buyer just as described. That is, insurance is for the seller. It is not for the buyer. Just always keep that in mind. It's for the buyer. Oh, it says it was delivered. Okay, well then that's not on the seller. That will be on you to contact your postal service and go, hey, tracking shows delivered. check with your neighbors. Unfortunately, if it's something that got left on a porch, we do have a thing called porch pirates happening around, which is a really sad, sad state of affairs. But I mean, if it was insured, they can put in a claim. But yeah, if it says, if tracking shows delivered, it's not the seller's fault. It's not on the seller. They did what they were supposed to do, unfortunately, and it sucks. There's no good answer to that. There's no good answer to that. Yeah. Okay, where we at? You guys want to see some haul stuff, and we'll do a little, I haven't done my kind of my research demo thing for a while, and I want to keep you guys fresh on looking stuff up. Okay, get all this seller protection stuff off my screen over here. Okay. Do I set up a signature for delivery on high-end goods? Absolutely. Absolutely. That is how you protect yourself from some of these things happening too. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, usually higher end goods, I'll usually use FedEx Home, and not FedEx Ground, but FedEx Home. There is a difference in, and this is what I was told by the FedEx Home driver. FedEx Home drivers are 1099 contract workers. If something is lost or broken that they were responsible for delivering, comes out of their pocket. Whereas FedEx Ground, our employees, could be unhappy employees. They're the ones throwing big screen TVs over gates. Okay, so use FedEx Home for your high-end items, and it will come with a signature too. Yep. The wrench wench is here. Hello, BB School Vintage. I love it. Do you have to have a store to be able to send offers to watchers? That's a good question, Marie. Are you in Seller Hub? Because I see mine through Seller Hub. Is where I get those notifications. Yeah. At what dollar value do I do that? I usually do that over, depends on the item, usually over $100. But once that I've gotten over that priority mail insurance kind of barrier, then I do the FedEx, the signature kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. I got sugar cookies. I don't know if you guys saw me grab these. This was like, okay, so the funny thing was that last Goodwill, it was the last Goodwill video that I put up. The line was so long. Remind me not to go shopping on a Saturday anymore because I don't like the lines. I really thought since it was a gloomy day, it wouldn't be so bad. So I just kept shopping. I just kept circling around the store, looking at stuff until I saw the line, you know, kind of get down. But I found this package. Oh, and I'm seeing this one's got a little bit of damage. So these are the cutest little, they look like sugar cookies. And there was 4 of them in the package for $2.99. And magnets actually do really good. Now, I probably would take these down to the booth or put them in one of my live sales. I'll probably put them in, I don't know. You guys tell me if you're watching this and you want the sugar cookie magnets in the live sale, by all means, I'll listen to the comments. Otherwise, they'll go down to the booth and I'll get $3 a piece for these, $3.6. So that's like $12 of magnets right there. So I got the sugar cookies. I have dogs under my feet. I also got these. Now, this is an interesting thing. So this is a box that does not have any markings on it. So you can see these are little, what's called raffia or straw ornaments. And I'm going to show you something really interesting about why keywords matter. Okay. Share my screen again. Okay, so I'm going to put in raffia ornaments, which is what I know them by. And I'm going to sort by highest first. And I am going to go into solds. Isn't this great? I asked for raffia ornaments, and it's showing me shoes. So let's go into the collectibles category. There we go. All right, I've got 9 results. So got some angels, got little straw, raffia, $8.95. But now I find this and I go, oh, straw. I didn't use that word. Oh, Scandinavian Swedish. Okay, let me go put in straw ornaments. And this is my thought process as I am searching for things. Okay, again, it's going to show me something non-relevant. Apparently, wants to show me oh, then I go, well, look at there. They're from Germany. I'm getting some information now about what I might have. I'm searching down for ones that are more similar to mine. As you can see, going down, I'm like, oh, here we go. Scandinavian, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish straw Christmas ornaments. There we go. $27. So now I'm going to go back up here and I'm just going to put in Scandinavian, and I can verify that's what I have. Look at that. Boom. I now know I have Scandinavian straw ornaments, and I can list these for about 20 bucks. Boom. And that's how I just determined pricing on this item I paid $1.99 for. I hope that made sense. Any questions on that? I went through that kind of fast. And then I didn't know the value when I picked those up. I picked them up because something, in the back of my head remembered there was something about these little raffia ornaments. I was pleasantly surprised when I did the homework when I got home. Do you take off the price tag when you list? It depends. If it's a vintage item, so obviously I'm going to take off this price tag. We're talking about like the sticker on the back, which I don't know. I don't think that's a price tag. I think that's just like a SKU. But if it had the original price on these, and let's say the original price was like $4.99, I would leave it on because they're vintage. People would not expect them to be at today's pricing. So it's going to depend on the item whether or not I take the price tag off. I allow offers on everything. Yep, I put best offer on everything. Okay, so I got this baggie with Muppets, Muppet head ornaments. And, okay, trivia. What's his name? What's the doggy's name? What's the Muppet dog's name? Let's go see. Oh, his little thing just pulled out. That's not good. I'm not exactly sure how I will fix that, but I'll figure out how to fix it. Okay, as I break the things that I'm trying to list. So let's go over and let's look up. I know they are Muppet. I know they are the heads. And I know that's an ornament. So that's all I put in the search. Oh, it's got me. I want to be in all categories to start. So I've got one. I'm like, oh, okay, Gonzo there. Let me go over. And now I see, oh, 9, 7, but I'm like, wait a minute. Mine are dated earlier than that. This one, that says 1979. 1989. This one is 1979. So, nope, it's not Fozzie. It's not Fozzie. It's the dog. It's the dog. Is it Ralph? Rolf? Yep. Fozzie's a bear. This is a dog. This be the doggy. There's a doggy. So now if I take that out and I do Muppet ornament 1979, now look what comes up. See, if I had just gone by that 1989 result, I would not have seen this. And I would not have seen this. And I would not have seen this. But let's go over and look at solds. And now you can see much better, right? So I will list these probably starting at auction. He is Rolf, the dog. So I will list these probably in a lot together. I'll run them at auction starting at $29.99, which is about the $10 piece that they go for. And I paid $3.99. So yeah, but that was the clue right there, is that this is 1979, not 1989. So be careful if you're using comps to set your pricing. Really, look a little closer and make sure it's the same thing. Same thing. No, Lorraine, I still don't have an email from you. Darn it, I don't know what's happening. All right. It is a box with a bear. It is a cedar box with a bear. See, this is most likely somebody took a price tag off of something and was hiding the evidence of their ways. This world we live in. So I'm looking at it going, okay, it's a little bit warped. It's not wanting to close completely tight there. Made in USA, paid $1.99. Let's go see what he's worth. So I go with what I know, which is, I know he is a cedar box with a bear. Just going to put those words and first see if anything comes up. Here we go. Bear, keepsake, jewelry, wood, cedar box. This one has a lock. This one does not have a lock. Da, da, da. Am I no longer in? Oh, I am. Okay. So let me take off the bear. Now I'm probably going to get a lot of results here. See how it has me in trinket boxes? That's another thing you have to be careful of, is it's not fine-tuning you down to just one category. Look at that. There's actually almost 2,000 results. So now I'm going to put the bear back and see if it was hiding some results from me. Nope, it still gives me those 16. Let me go over here. So here we go. So we've got, here's one for $29.99, $29.99, $29.99, $29.99. So you can see it's a $25 item pretty consistently. But I think what I will do, I will put this in one of my live sales, just because, it is a little bit, it's got that kind of a warp thing going. So I'll start it at $1 on my live sale and let somebody decide how much it's worth to them. I got this guy. Again, this is another interesting item. These are made in Kenya of soapstone. It's a tourist item. This guy, you can see, like, he's big. It was both my hands there. He's heavy, but he is sized such that he can go in a padded flat rate. I'll put him in a box and then in the padded flat rate. So I'm not worried about the shipping being too expensive on him. I paid $7.99, and that seems like a lot to pay, and it is, but it's okay because there's enough margin on this. Now, the people that are looking things up at Goodwill, you've got to remember that they don't, I'm not dissing anybody who works for Goodwill. Let me just be careful, but they're not professional sellers who really know how to look this stuff up. Heck, I get questions every day about, how do I look this up? How do I find this item? I can't find this item. So search is not easy. Research on pricing is not something that can be done in like 10 seconds by a Goodwill worker in the back of a shop. Okay. So let's go over here. So if they put in, and they may not know it's soapstone, they would have had to have somebody in the back know it's soapstone, but they would have known it was stone. Oh, come on, stone. And they would have known it was carved, and they would have known it was a lion. So what comes up? Wow, You have 50, or I got caught on the 55,000 right there. Woo! Wow. You can sell anything on eBay. Look at those. Okay, squirrel. 1,584 results. So we're going to go down to our solds here. 259. That's a little better. So let's try to find what they found. And I'm telling you, they're not putting in this much time. They're not, they may not even have looked this item up. They probably just thought, oh, it's a nice stone lion. We'll just put $7.99 on it. Here we're getting closer. Closer. And I would tell you, there are some tiny ones that actually were searched by Soapstone that sold for 10 bucks, but they're tiny. See how we're getting down there in size now. It's marble. He's not marble, he's Soapstone. And I hate doing this like live. I mean, this is my search process. I would literally scroll through this much because this is how I learn. So I'm really showing you my thought process as I'm looking. I'm also looking and kind of storing in my data banks, you know, what things go for. So look at here. I can tell you right now, that's a tiny one. I can just tell looking at it, he's tiny. Let's see what his size is. Oh, they're not even going to tell me what his size is. You got to tell people what the size is, guys. Oh, he's got the ruler thing. So he's a little 5-inch guy. Yeah. He's a little guy. He's like a third of the size of this one. But you could easily have made a price determination based on looking at that. So you have to be careful. I'm going to go back up here now. Now I know he's Soapstone. I'm going to put in Soapstone Lion and see what I get. Now it's going to show me sea lions. It's not a food dog lion. I'm thinking he's about 30 bucks worth of lion. That's what I am thinking I'm going to list him for. So again, these are the little tiny ones. So there's none. And this is a little tiny one. Look, it even says mini. So if a mini is 10 bucks, I figure he's at least triple the price, right? Because I can't find one exactly like it. I'm not going to keep digging. I may go and see if there's any others available. So that's where we get back to here. And kind of coming down. And you can see there's some pretty heavy prices if you put in Soapstone Lion. So I think if I put this at 30 bucks, I'm good. They're good. It should sell. I may put it a little higher. Look at that. Look at that. $65. $65 on that one. It's a little fancier. So this is why it doesn't hurt to price high. It does not hurt to take a chance and put your item up there. Like I can stop right here and say, you know what, I'm going to price them at $39.99. Change my mind. I just upped to 10 bucks. I'll price them at $39.99 with calculated shipping, and I'll be perfectly happy if he sells for 30 bucks, right? I paid 8. I'm going to more than triple my money. That's your profit margin. This is how we do it, do it. All right. I could put it at $49.99. I could do that. Yep, I can do that too. I'm just checking here to see if I missed any questions. How do I know soapstone? Soapstone is just one of those things that's got a look and a feel that once you've kind of gotten your hands on it, you know. Yeah. But if you called it carved stone, you would still be okay because the soapstone people would know by your pictures it was soapstone, and they would still find it. Okay, we're good. All right. Next. Oh, see, this is that thing. This is going to be fun. Wait till I show you. Now, who would think that this brand was expensive? Just coming in this little box. And some of you might already know. You might already know. But I paid $4.99. Oh, what did they price? What was underneath there? Oh, they just put. Wonder where they changed it. Let's see, today's the 9th. So this had been on the shelf for 3 days, which is surprising. Nobody grabbed this. Nobody grabbed this because Goodwill now puts the date on the tags. I'm trying to lift off to see. They had another tag underneath this one. I was trying to see what it was. I can't see what it is. Anyway, this is why I grabbed it off the shelf is obviously it's a dolphin, or as we call them around here, dolphins. And it was a really lightweight box, so I sat there and I had to open it up and make sure the dolphin was actually in there. And he is. I don't want to break you, dolphin, getting you out of the box. So here is all brand new. Yes, original packaging with his original tag. There he is. There he is. This is Splish the dolphin. And yep, there's this little tag that says Splish the dolphin. Okay, so this is why I bought him, because for those that don't know, Rachel, my 13-year-old daughter, is dolphin crazy. We actually have a dolphin habitat. Let's see if I can get him back in his box. We have a dolphin habitat here at the Mirage Hotel where you can paint with the dolphins, you can be trainer for a day and swim with the dolphins. And on her birthday last year, she got to paint and go behind the scenes, and she wasn't old enough to be trainer for a day. You had to be 13. So our plan was this year, she was going to get to go be trainer for a day at the dolphin habitat. And then cousin Rona hit and they closed down. So we've been very sad about that. But so she's dolphin crazy. Let me just say, she wants to be a trainer. She wants to do a lot of things. Dolphin trainer, I don't know if that's still on her list. It was on her list. It might still be on her list. Anyway, this is a brand called December Diamonds. And wait till I show you. Just wait. No, wait. Really? Who'd have thunk? Why isn't this going? Come on. Okay, you guys ready for this? Hello. Now, actives, right? You think, yeah, those are actives. Let's go to solds. Hello. This is definitely a brand you want to look for. And some of these kind of crazy things, they have mermen, lots of mermen, as you can see. This I hope some of you can kind of stick in your memory banks and find one of these and come back and tell me that you made over $100 on one of these guys. Now the dolphin is not selling for this crazy high money, but I'll definitely be on the lookout now for this brand. Lots of mermen. There's some mermaids, but the mermen are the ones who people go gaga for, as you can see. Then they do some other stuff. There's a little blue-white truck LED. See, and I wouldn't know this if I had just limited my search to dolphin, because it wouldn't have shown me all these guys, right? So now I just learned something by not putting in too many words. Yeah, definitely put this on your to look out for. But even these, look, $50. This is deceiving. This $24.99 is deceiving because look at the shipping. Just saying. That's sold. That's a $50 sale right there. I'll still take $50 for an ornament. Now I will show you. Go back up here, and I will put in dolphin. Ah, come on. Here we go. And you can see the dolphins don't sell for the crazy high amount of money. Actually, this is different than this. Don't count this. Same brand, completely different. That's just a glass one. Let's go see if there's any dolphins over here. So here's Splish the dolphin for $34. So it's still a $30 ornament. 25 to 30, I would say. Yep. But it's not getting sold. It's staying. Yep. Always on the lookout for fire and light. Absolutely. Okay, you might have seen me pick up a plate, a saucer, actually. It's a saucer. Why did I pick up the saucer? Oh, yes, because it has horses on it. This is Royal Grafton. Let's see if it'll show you that. Much better than my camera showed in the store. Because I shoot the video, and if I can't do audio, I don't hear myself say what the name is. So when I get home to edit, I'm like, what does that say? Uh-oh, I can't tell. So yeah. So let's go see what Royal Grafton goes for. And again, I'm not going to narrow down the search. Let's just look for Royal Grafton. If I get too many results, then I can narrow it down. So the first thing I do is get out of actives and go into solds. Over here, over here. Now I got 250. That also tells you a little bit of your sell-through rate. Okay, sell-through rate is like how quickly is this item going to sell? So we went from, what was it, 2,200 listings. Okay, this is important. 2,200 listings and only 250 sold in 90 days. This is a slow seller. This is a what we call a long tail item. This is not going to sell super fast. But now I'm just staying in highest first, going to kind of get an idea that if I find this again, what are the prices? And it looks like it's a fairly good brand. If you find a teacup and saucer, I'd say go ahead and pick it up if you get it for the right price. I wouldn't spend a lot on a piece of this because of the slow sell-through rate, but it is something that will sell over time and for some pretty decent money. So now I've kind of seen what I need to see is if it's a good brand. Now I can put in, oops, whoa, I pushed the wrong button. Hate when I do that. I can put in saucer, narrows it down a little bit. I'm actually going to put in horses or horse. Look, nothing. I'm going to take out the saucer and just leave the horse. And still nothing. I'll go over here. Still nothing. So the fact that this has horses on it, there we go. There's one, 1919 for just the saucer. So I may just put this up again, one of those occasions where I don't quite know what the true market value is because there's only one listed. I might do an auction on this. I paid $2. So if I started at $14.99 and I sell it for that, I'm good with that. That's a quick flip. If I turn to have to put it on a fixed price with best offer, I'll put it at like $19.99. This again is not getting sold. This is a little kitty cat. It was $1.99. He's a Warren Kimball from Boston Warehouse. So here's a case. Look, there's his original price tag was $6.99. If I was listing this, focus, I would take that off because it doesn't add any value to the item, and this is a more contemporary piece. So because it's contemporary, I would take that original price tag off. I'm just gonna guesstimate that this sells in the $10 to $15 range. Let's go see. So we know it is a Warren Kimball cat by Boston Warehouse. And I'm not calling it dish. I'm not calling it nothing because I don't know what they call it. But I can also see what else is available in this. All right. Oh, scrubby holder. No. Scrubby holder. No, that's not flat. Okay. I'm going to go over to solds. And, oh, he looks like he is a spoon rest. Okay. All right. None available. None available. So yeah, I could get about $15 for him if I wanted to list him. But this looks like my grand kitty. And my grand kitty is also a little on the plump side. So this is going to be a present for my daughter. All right. I have been picking up a few vintage antique ornaments. Lorraine, I can't check the email right now. I'll have to check it after the show. So if you sent it in the time that I've been here live, I'm not able to check. But hopefully you copy and pasted what Joni had given you for the spelling there and it comes through. I hope so. Okay, so I've been picking up these vintage ornaments. I did not pick up the Woolworths ones because, as you saw in the comp that I gave, they just weren't going for much. But I did pick these up. And the reason is the box. I wanted the box. I wanted not just the box, but to be able to use Shiny Bright in my title when I put a few boxes of ornaments together that won't all be Shiny Bright. I'm going to put Shiny Bright. I'm going to put the other thing. But being able to say Shiny Bright, that's what people are searching when they're looking for the higher end of the antique ornaments. I don't even know if these are the original to this box or not. I'm looking, doesn't say a color or anything. But what I do have here is a good example. That original price tag stays. So know that this sold for 99 cents back in the day. That actually tells people this is a genuine old item because you can't go get a box of ornaments for 99 cents anymore. Can you even do that at the dollar store? Maybe. Not like this though. And then let me just show you, because I talk about this in the video, how if you don't have the box for the ornament, up here on the little hanger thing will be some clues as to the maker. So see, made in USA. They don't say Shiny Bright anywhere on them, but they do say made in USA, which is your indicator that these are vintage. Now, what I did pick up was these off of a rack on the side. Oh, one of them broke. Darn. I hate that. It wasn't broken until I got it home. Anyway, there's still enough of them there. I'm fairly confident these are probably Shiny Brights, although they don't say anything on them. But if I put these in the same lot with these, they'll be easier to be found, and let the buyer view the pictures and the information. They'll still be happy. The thing is, if you like Shiny Brights, you're probably going to like these better than these, right? So that's why I bought those. They don't make those in the USA anymore. That is so true. That is so true. Ah, the glass goblet. Look at that. How did you know? So this is another good example of, I did not know what this is when I picked it up and purchased it. I wanted to learn. It was basically $2. So it's a $2 learning investment. What I knew about it was it's definitely vintage. There's no doubt about that from just the look and the feel and the color. And what it does have is something that made me think, okay, we're all on this fire and light kick, and it had kind of those qualities. I didn't think it was fire and light, but I wasn't sure. So I did want to get it and do my homework. Now, what has been found out, and this happened through the Niche to Profit Facebook group, and I forget who told me what this is, but it is by a company called Tiffin. It's Franciscan Madeira pattern. Let's look. Now it's not worth as much as Fire and Light, sadly, but it's okay. I mean, 2 or 4 would be much better. Oops. So you can see I already looked it up once. It's sitting there waiting for me. So here it is. Now, if you have a set, it can do quite well. But I don't have a set. I just have a single. Maybe I will just keep it until it finds a mate. Is there like an eHarmony for glassware? I don't know. Ooh, that could be an idea, huh? I'm just saying, what if we had like a little site where we all like posted our singles of these pieces that really need to be put together, and you know, people could do trades and make deals. That's not actually a bad idea, is it? Huh. Stand by. I may create that Facebook group so we could do that, because that'd be kind of fun. Get all these little matched guys back together again. So you can see a single is probably not going to bring a whole bunch of money. In fact, I don't even see a single yet. Comes in different colors. Kind of like the green. You're kind of getting down there in price. Come on, where's a single? Find me a single. So a single blue sells for $18.99. I don't think green does as well as blue. There's an amethyst for $9. That probably was a little cheap. $12.99 for a single. So yeah, you know, now it's just like an iced tea goblet. It's super heavy. That's what's crazy about it. This thing is, I don't have my scale handy. I have something on my scale right now. It's kind of like, yeah, not like replacements, but not. But I'm thinking like for resellers who, hey, I've got one of these and you've got one of those, and you know, the value would be better if we, yeah, that kind of thing. I don't know if it would work. Shipping might kill that, but yep. I know the purple should be 199, right? Tiger purple. Yeah, see, things like you have the tray and not the salt and peppers, and you know, bits and pieces. Oh, they have one for mismatched earrings. Okay, I got, see, it could work. So the other thing that I bought, you probably saw, is I bought a fluffy, and it's really funny. This is new product that Goodwill's getting. So Goodwill isn't just doing like donations. They're getting, I don't know if they're paying for this stuff or if it's like liquidation overstock and they pay for, you know, by the pound or something. But I mean, their manufacturers suggest a retail price, $10, and they sell it for $10, but it's okay. It's a nice fluffy. I got that because it's that time of year for snuggling on the couch. Actually, I saw somebody has one of those listed for 30. I don't know if they're selling them, but they got them. They're listing them. All right. So that's really it. Oh, I got one more thing. One more thing. And I bought this thinking that if it's not worth reselling, I will just keep it and wear it. It is the Disneyland Performing Arts 2010. And it's just an anvil. Actually, it just says Disney, not Disneyland, but it probably was Disneyland because I'm on the West Coast. But yeah, just something that you don't see every day. You would have had to have gotten this from being probably one of the parade people is the performing arts section of Disney. So I'll wear it. If I can't sell it, I'll wear it. Oh, thank you for that reminder, Tina. Thank you for the reminder between, okay, EAPG and cut glass. Thank you. I actually had a note for that and I had forgotten. So thank you for that. Okay, EAPG, which is Early American Press Glass. There are hundreds of patterns out there. Some of them, as in anything, are much more rare and therefore more valuable than others. So if it's something that you want to learn the value of, this is my recommendation. We're going to go just do a little search here. Just put in EAPG. And this goes for anything that you are trying to find a value on. This is how you determine if this is something you want to start getting into. Okay. I always sort by highest first. So there is some EAPG that has color, which you'll see here. And then there's EAPG that doesn't have color. Now look at this. This is just a small mug with a, and they haven't even put a pattern on here. That's the kicker. Small mug, man with hat and dog in forest trees. That's it. That's all they put on there. But I will tell you, this did come up in one of my saved my watches that they email me when stuff comes up, because I searched for EAPG with dogs. So they sent me this one. It's not something that I collect, but you can see swan handled butter dish. Don't need to know the pattern for it to sell for really good money, because EAPG collectors know people don't know the patterns many times. And what's interesting, these were both auctions. So let's go look at this one and see what they started it at. 19 bids. They started this at $9.99. And that's exactly the kind of item I was talking about when I was talking about auction versus fixed price. This item obviously had a lot of value. Let's see how many different people were battling over this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 6 people were bidding on this. And the person who ended up winning it came in right at the end. That was the only time they placed a bid. You can see this person here placed multiple bids. They kept trying to up their bids. And ultimately it came in and got sniped by this person. So they knew what it was. These people knew what it was they were bidding. And here's about when I bet the seller probably started getting a little excited. When it jumped from $99 to $257 overnight. Yeah, that happened overnight. That would be a little thrilling. And then let's see, they went up here. Yeah, this person really wanted it, and ultimately then that person got it. It's really fun to watch how this happens. Let's go look at the other one. Let's go look at this one, because I bet the same thing happened. Oh, I didn't want to see other items. I'm so used to hitting that. I want to see the bids. Again, started this at $14.99, and you've got one, and you can tell how many bidders there are. Just look at the numbers here in the feedback. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. It only took 5 people bidding for this to bring it up to $410. So you again have a jump here. Didn't have the big drastic jump that the other one had. And then you really have these 2 people fighting it out at the end, bringing it to $410. Yep. And that's how those auctions work. Again, that seller did not really know what they had. They just described it as swan handled butter dish. And I'm not even sure it's a butter dish. But they had EAPG swan. And I bet that is the words that somebody had in their saved watch. So again, just go down. Look, okay, lucky horseshoe. This only got 1 bid. So this one, they started it at $350. Who knows what would have happened had they started that lower? It could have gone for more potentially. But you know, when you start super high like that, be prepared to only get that 1 bid. And really, there's no real rhyme or reason to what's valuable and what's not. I can tell you that things with animals do tend to go for more than plain objects. In the more plain patterns, the fancier the type of item is, the more it goes for. So that's Vaseline. That's not a good example. And like, if you do know what the pattern is, it's definitely good to use it. Pigs in corn water goblet. See, I would not have known that was worth $228. It's really a matter of just starting to explore and research and go through the solds and look at the high priced ones. And you'll start seeing the things that are safe to take a chance on. Like if you don't know what the pattern is, like this seller knew what this pattern was. That's how it got found. This would be a tough describe without actually having some experience and knowing how to find that pattern. Prayer rug. I know that one. I have sold that one in the past. I've sold this guy in the past. Pictures tend to do pretty good. Again, things with like goat's head. Go figure. Three-face. But now not all three-face sells in this price range. This is, look at, they don't even say what this is in their title, but it's an oil lamp. So the oil lamp is going to be a more rare piece. Oh, see, now that's going to be a tough question. How can you tell if it's EAPG or not? It's a lot of really in-person getting your hands on it. Like, go to an antique mall, go someplace where you know it's identified correctly, and get the look and the feel. True antique glass, just, I'm trying to put it into words. It just has, you just know after you've held and touched it, and then you compare it to contemporary glass, there's a big difference. Like the quality, it's the quality. And even like in the patterns, in those finials where they have the animals and things, the detail, like the things that they make that have little animals. And in fact, there was one in my video, I picked up an egg cup, and I think it was a bird. There was like no definition to everything. It was a very mass marketed looking piece. So this was not mass marketed. EAPG had to be made by hand. They didn't have mass marketing techniques back then. Like, yeah, it was pressed glass, but it was a crude manufacturing of the pressed glass. It was still hand finished. Everything was just, it was just different back then. Now, when we're talking about, I think what you're talking about, cut glass, gets a little trickier. So there is American Brilliant cut glass, which is the one that I recommend being on the look for. American Brilliant, again, once you've had it in your hands, and over the years, I can tell you the people that have listened to how I've explained it and then gone and found it, when I get that email or that message and they're going, I know exactly now what you were talking about. You hold it in your hand and it's so sharp, it feels like it's going to cut your hand. So it's super sharp and it's thick. It's thick, sharp, crystal clear glass. I mean, it truly is brilliant. Don't even ever try to make out a pattern on American Brilliant. You're probably not going to do it, but yes, and I knew you meant the American Brilliant. Yep, I knew that. So American Brilliant is holding its value. Let's double check now that I'm saying that. But again, you want to familiarize yourself. Just go do a search. Just use those words, sort by highest in the solds, and go look at what's selling. There you go. And some of it, you're going to need to know at least the shapes and do a little homework. But you can see most of these will not have a pattern name. It's just beautiful glass. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. See, and now a pattern like this, you probably will be able to find the pattern name because this is not as common. But when you start getting into, you know, just some of those normal cuts, look at this, American Brilliant, cut glass, finely cut, picture, exception. Yeah, they don't have a pattern name there. So don't make yourself crazy trying to figure out a pattern name if you don't have one. Now there's certain motifs, like you can say Hobstar, cane, fan. See, they put the different things that were in this. But yeah, American Brilliant does hold its value. And you can see the more unusual pieces are what are going to go for the bigger money. It's really, you know, what's out there, how much of it is still out there. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing glass though. So if you get a piece of glass, and I'm not talking about the top edge, you know, it's going to have little sawtooth. That's not what I'm talking about being sharp. I'm talking about hold it in your hands or hand, depending on how big it is. Hold it and feel like it's sharp. It will leave little red marks in your hand because it's also heavy. It is leaded glass. It's super heavy. It's super sharp. That's how you tell American Brilliant. Yep. I have some down at the booth right now. It's kind of hard to get really good pictures of. That's why I tend to take it down to the booth. And I sell it down at the booth. I have buyers down there. So I always prefer to sell in person versus having to ship something like that, because you can take the best care possible and the delivery services can still have their way with it. I don't even like to risk it. In auction, is the buyer able to return it? Yeah, a sale is a sale is a sale. They do. Auction, fixed price, doesn't matter. And see, that's the key, Tina. That's the key. Like, you aren't going to want to spend a lot of time researching and messing with something that, you know, you don't have a personal interest in. That for me has been what has made it, is so that I wanted to spend the time and the research and the books and, you know, just delving through the books and getting my hands on as many pieces as I could to learn about it. So, and it's because I love it. I love the history behind antique glass. It just gives me chills when I hold a piece that I know belonged to somebody, you know, 150 years ago. And that was like either a functional piece they used in their household, or it was like a family heirloom, you know, that it like they got something that they truly loved and appreciated with, you know, and things weren't crazy good money wise back then. In fact, the pressed glass was the poor man's version of cut glass back in the day. That's why it was produced, is so that the, I don't know, did they have like middle income? I don't even know what the classes were called back then, but you know, the poor to middle income families, the average American family could have some pretty glass when they couldn't afford the European imports. And then the American Brilliant happened because it was some American glass makers' answer to the expensive European imports. So that's how it kind of got its start. And that's why it's not signed. You know, the early pieces, they didn't want you to know it was an American company. They wanted to keep you guessing, you know, so you thought it could be a European import. And then later, once it gained popularity, then the companies like Libby and who's the other American companies? I can't even think. But Hawks is out of Canada, so there's Canadian Brilliant. It's still, they still call it American Brilliant because it's still part of North America. So it's American Brilliant glass. It's the same thing, just some is made in Canada, some was made in America, different makers. There's a whole bunch to it. I did an entire video on EAPG and American Brilliant glass. It's in my Untapped Treasures playlist if you want to go really kind of go a little more in depth into that. That's how you were when you started selling vintage jewelry. Yeah, that's how a lot of us get our start in our niche. Yep. Yep. All right, everyone. There's a lot of this Monday left to go get those listings up. Go get ready to make lots of money this week. I think Wednesday is a postal holiday. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So no shipping on Wednesday. I will probably still be catching up on Wednesday because I leave Thursday morning. I'm going back to San Diego. Ooh, we got some good stuff planned. I'm actually, I got it. This is funny. You guys will laugh. I tend to spend too much time in an antique mall for my daughter's, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. Anyway, she's dumping me off. She's dumping me off at the antique mall on Thursday, where I will be spending probably a few hours going through that huge antique mall. And I'm going to take my time this time, and I'm going to look. I'm going to specifically look for some fire and light. I'm going to kind of go on a little treasure hunt all by myself, nobody making me hurry. I'm kind of excited about that. So that's happening like Thursday. I will still be doing my Friday sale. I will just be doing it from San Diego. So I'm taking stuff with me that I can sell. And Rachel will probably be here in the chat, but she will not be my next to me assistant. You'll get to see Jordan, my other daughter. You'll get to meet her. She's not camera shy either, so she'll actually put her face on camera and say hi. So that's happening on Friday. Saturday, we're going to a swap meet / flea market. I've been dying to go to a flea market. So that's happening on Saturday morning. Then, of course, we're going to some thrift stores as usual. But yeah. And then I will be live again Monday, but I'll be live again from San Diego. I'm not coming back until Monday night. Yes, I'm going to take some bubble wrap this time. I am. Yes. All right. So that's kind of my crazy, that's going to be my crazy week. So I have to get caught up because I have to get, I've got to get all the videos for the time that I'm gone scheduled and up. I'm ready to go on YouTube, which is no easy feat because I'm never that far ahead. Oh, that's right. The thrift challenge thingamajig. Thrift challenge on Prime Time. What's his channel? Primetime Thrift Hunter. I want to say, I'll post a link again over in the group. Anyway, I am going head to head with George the Antiques Nomad on a thrifting challenge, and I believe that is the 11th, which is Wednesday evening. I'm flying. I am flying. Primetime Treasure Hunter. That's what I thought. So come. I need your support, guys. I need your support because you guys determine whether or not I win the challenge. So, and that's what's tough because I know a lot of you guys are also George's fans. So this is going to be interesting. This is really interesting. All right, everyone. Apparently, YouTube is recommending me to people, and I don't know why, but welcome. We're glad you're here. Just getting ready to wrap up this live. But again, we'll be back on Friday at 1 p.m. for the live sale. So with that, watch for some cool shipping videos, some cool stuff until then, and go be profitable and make it fun. We will see you on the next one, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to my moderators over there with the wrenches next to them that keep everybody in line. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.